You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, team. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's The Challenge After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's The Challenge After Show.
Yo, what up, AfterBuzzers? Bing is for doing, and we are doing another AfterBuzz TV after show for The Challenge Battle of the Seasons. And I'm totally echoing. I feel like Darth Vader right now.
Sounds cool.
Excuse me. What happens in Vegas? Wow, I'm loving the. I feel like Mariah Carey, actually. I think I want to do a little.
I feel like I'm in my shower.
Reverbing. I'm reverbing. That's just my godly voice. It is DJ Jesse here in the studio, and I am joined by the lovely Roxy Striar.
Hello.
Wow.
Wait, what happened to hello, buzzers?
Oh, hello, buzzers. Hello.
And yes, Nicolette couldn't be here, but we filled his seat with the one, the only, the godfather of the challenges, Sir Mark Long.
Yes.
That's why this is like this, because Godfather.
Yeah.
Right.
It's got the-
We wanted
There
to
you
keep
go.
it
See, it cuts off right there. When I speak, there's an echo like the Lord.
as you are. All right. Well, Mark, thank you so much for joining
I'm
us.
super excited to be here.
We are excited.
I've heard tons about the show, Jesse. I needed to come and see it for myself.
And we met in Vegas.
Yeah, what a great
the Vegas
weekend.
Bash.
Yeah, what a great weekend. So many high-profile A-list celebrity reality
Okay, it
stars were
was
there.
fun. Okay, we had a good time
Half
together.
of the
so
Bad Girls Club was there, you know?
yes, they were.
Doing it up.
That's about it.
Good times.
That's it. Me and you, that's about
Big
it.
Brother, Survivor, The Challenge, Real World. We had people from all over the place.
Yeah.
But all that matters is that we got Mark Long out of the situation.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
And we are here tonight to talk about the challenge. And we're going to squeeze your brain.
Good.
Because, I mean, you've been through it all.
I hosted this first challenge,
The
by the way.
original.
Me and Eric Neese hosted it back in shoot.
The
You want to hear a
original.
great story?
I'd love to.
It was scheduled a week after 9/11, and when 9/11 hit, it was canceled. We all thought we were, it's not going to happen. We actually all were on the first flights out when they lifted the air, when they gave it, the
Holy
ability to fly
crap.
again.
Sketch.
So we all went out down there, and it was so crazy and weird, but I think we all needed it to kind of like just unwind because it was so stressful back at home.
Oh my
but me and
God.
Eric Neese hosted the first show where Eric showed me down in Cabo San Lucas that if you pee in a cup and then pour it in your hair, the vitamins from the urine actually is great for your hair. So I was doing urine conditioning down in Cabo with my boy Eric Neese. See, bam, I thought you guys would love that.
I think Eric Neese, if he doesn't already have a book, needs to write one.
I think
He's
I'm going to
so
vomit. How did nobody else just comment
Smell
on the
this,
fact?
smell this. It
Mm-mm.
smells
No,
delicious.
No, they tell us to sit close
Smells
together.
like
but
asparagus.
Guess what I had for dinner?
I'm
Let's
going
take
to
a
start
smell.
calling you Pea Head.
I'll take it. But isn't that a great story?
That is a good one.
It's actually pretty
actually
good.
It's a very
interesting.
touching story, but it was great because back then the challenges were so innocent. We all actually had a great fun time. It wasn't so high profile and stressed out as it is now.
Oh, I can't wait to get into
They let
it.
the leash off a little bit. We could kind of get crazy. We didn't have so many rules.
And you got more than one bottle at a time.
Yeah, we didn't have to like beg for a bottle of wine and 3 beers.
Well, so we're gonna squeeze your brain out with all of your information, but we have the Steamer on the line. Steamer, what's going on, bud?
Not much. How you guys doing?
So serious every time. Every time. I love it.
I know.
And we're here. We got Mark Long, so I want you to get some questions up for him when we get
All right.
into this special topic. But I mean, speaking of touching, I mean, there was a lot of love going on tonight on the show, which
A little
What'd you think of
steamy
that?
in there.
What did you think of that?
Which couple are we talking about right now? I mean, I've
we're
got
going to
different
keep it limited
opinions.
with Devin's topic because we're having Devin on the show next week, so we need her to call her and have her.
Okay, we're gonna give her the benefit of the doubt for
yes.
now.
What a beautiful sight just seeing Big Easy court Devin. The
it was actually
the unsunburned. I mean, the overly sunburned face.
Honestly, if you actually look at it, what they were saying about each other was really cute. He was like, I mean, here's this beautiful lady.
I love it.
And she was like, here's a southern gentleman. It was kind of cute. I kind of started to fall for it a little bit.
I want them to have a challenge baby. I think it'd be hot.
Absolutely not. I do not want that. I'm sorry. I love you, Devin, so much, but I do not want that to be the
Devin,
challenge.
I mean, what would it come out
listen
looking
to
like?
me. I'm your
Black
elder.
redhead.
I'm your
Awesome.
elder. Devin and Big Easy should have a baby and name it Challenge. There you go. Bam.
That's actually kind of epic.
Oh my God, and call it Chow Chow for.
Ciao, ciao.
Chow chow.
Oh, that's
That's
so
cute.
cute.
Are you leading into the
Thoughts?
Sarah and Alton love?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's this little relationship going on where Sarah's falling for the chocolate.
Chocolate lover.
Yeah.
Sarah lately, you guys don't know this, Sarah came from Vinny, who was an Italian white kid, and now she's moved over to the dark side. She likes her tall, black, and
You know,
handsome.
some people get bored of vanilla.
You're absolutely
and
right.
they just need a little box of chocolate.
And Alton's a shredded guy. He looks very handsome. And he heard
Yeah, he does.
You know, an interesting, I think it was, I can't remember who said it, but they were like, have you heard the conversations these two have? They're like talking about this alignment of the stars.
the
and-
wind.
yeah, so I mean, we don't know Alton or Sarah.
I
know both of them. Alton kind of
So
seems
popular.
like Alton kind of seems like a Nehemiah. Like they're both very into like earth and like.
Alton and Nehemiah are long lost brothers.
That's what I kind of.
When I did a challenge with Nehemiah, he turned his room into the Zen room, and you had to take your shoes off before you entered the room. And he'd like light candles and stuff, and like steal all the candles from the house, and then bring them in the room and light them. And I'm like, you know what? I like causes. I like gags like that. But it's like, ease up, bro.
Okay.
Pump the brakes.
But he's so serious about it, and that's
Yeah.
why I have respect for him. But go ahead, Roxy.
I was gonna say Nehemiah seems like that to me, but Alton doesn't seem like that at all to me. He was very like aggressive this
Didn't until
episode.
today.
Tonight he just seems so aggressive, and I guess that's because one love my Sarah and peace and bring her in. But he was, if you looked at his face, he was not a happy camper. He was sitting there, and I was like, he's about to go off on somebody, but he didn't.
Listen, when you're given that special kind of love that Sarah delivers, it turns a calm, rested man. It turns him upside down.
And
So this is love at first sight. Truly, madly, deeply.
This is what is it? Showmance, we called it.
Oh, yeah. It's always beautiful watching a showmance develop within 7 days of the challenge starting. It's all because it means so much. It's deep, right?
Well, do you? I mean,
Okay, well, do you blame
we'll
them?
probably
Is
have a
it easy
showmance
to-
before the show's over.
literally
you guys
in
should
the
have an
next 50
AFTERBUZZ
minutes.
baby. We'll call it after,
Inch.
since we already have inch. So on the show, I mean, you know Sarah, you know Alton. Do their personalities seem like they would?
Well, Sarah's a chameleon. Sarah likes to blend to the environment and what atmosphere she's in. When I was with her, she liked to play puzzles all day and do these little things and she's like a kindergarten teacher. She can have fun at any moment with like little games, which I love. But yeah, she's kind of deep in there. And Alton he said it before. He just wants big waves and sit on the beach and surf and skateboard. Because
Okay.
that's what Alton's all about these days.
That's amazing.
Here's the thing. Here's what I liked about Sarah. She seems to actually like to compete. And I love watching people
Yeah.
who love to compete.
She's feisty.
She's
always
excited
been.
about the puzzles. She's excited for everything. I liked the first couple episodes, but here's what I didn't like about her. She started to really piss me off with what.
Getting cocky? She got a little cocky on
She
you?
got really cocky all of a sudden. And if she had lost, she looked like a big idiot. She didn't, though. And also, the way she was dealing with Trishelle, I respected the way Trishelle was going about it at first. Now it's kind of. Then Trishelle was annoying me,
Well,
so
wait, but don't
I was
you-
hopping back and forth.
Okay, I'm with you. Like I was feeling Trishelle at first, and I was like, but at least Trishelle owned up to it at the end. But
Yeah.
do you think Sarah was cocky? I mean, if you're in the situation and you're being pinned against, and you're like, no, I actually like Alton. I'm not manipulating. You're
No.
being made into this bad guy.
Not then when she's doing the puzzle and she's like, and I can't wait until we win this, and we're gonna win this, and we're gonna send them home. They're so like.
I'll tell you what,
know.
the challenge gods were not going to let Sarah lose, and I'll tell you why, because she got such a raw end of the deal last season on Exes when she got sent home because Vinny pulled Mandy's top down. So there was no way
Right.
Sarah was losing. The challenge Lord had her back.
Now, when was the last time you actually saw Alton?
Oh, wow. Probably, I did the Gauntlet 2 with Alton, and that's probably, and then the after shows or like the reunion, that's probably been the last time, and that's been years ago.
Does he look healthy, guys? Is
looks-
this healthy? I feel like I don't want to be he just looks a little
it was the
frail.
face. It was
And I
the
remember
face
him.
that
He was
was
like
so
really
skinny.
in shape.
I almost feel
beefy.
like, you know what I think happened? I almost feel like he did like a diet change. Like he maybe went from like eating like, I think he went like to
Lots
like
of
a
protein.
vegan. I think he went vegan and it kind of like shrinks your muscle mass. I hate to say it, but like he did look, I mean, he's shredded. He looks like he's quick and agile like a cougar. But he used to look like a lion, right? I like lion.
I like the lion look.
He
You like
looked,
that
but he
quick and-
does.
But he kind of looks older now.
No, he
I
does
think,
look
which
healthy though. He
is.
definitely
right.
doesn't look like he's being unhealthy. He does look fit and in shape. But you're right.
We're used to
depends
seeing
whether
a,
you like the cougar or the lion.
thick Alton, a
Yeah.
little thicker, a little like about 10, 15 more pounds on him. He looks a little frail. I guess that's a good word to say, right? Frail?
Frail. And you know what else is frail, actually, guys? Is the comments you guys are leaving us on iTunes. So, I
Great
just wanted to
segue,
segue into
Jeff.
that.
Hey, we know.
But we want to thank you guys for tuning into YouTube. You guys are definitely showing us what you guys think of the show, and we love that. But we need your help to get to #1 on iTunes. So go to iTunes Store, type in AfterBuzz TV, The Challenge, subscribe, rate, download. If you guys leave a comment, we're going to give you a shout out here on the show, and also leave us some Stump the Steamer questions. All right?
It's a shout out.
A shout out.
Like,
a shout
like in
out.
Canada.
It's a shit it. Apparently, I have a Canadian accent.
You do?
I'm from Boston.
I
though.
picked up on that. You're so not.
Oh, I saw him.
Yeah.
And you have a Canadian
It's
accent?
weird. You know, I live Boston, New York.
I don't get it.
Mixing them together, Canada.
get it.
There you go.
Apparently. So the challenge, apparently. So let's talk about the challenge. This was a
Let's talk about
really
the challenge.
interesting, fun game they played.
Well-
Hook, line, and sinker.
Right. I was really excited for it because last week, of course, we had Frank in here, who we know is everybody's favorite person to watch on the show. And we had him in, and he was saying how exciting this week's challenge was, and they were both saying how exciting it was and how much fun it was. So we are stoked to see it, and it lived up to expectations. It was something I wanted to try, miserably fail at, granted, but try definitely. It looked like they were all pretty into it.
It's always good when you have a challenge that it's an endurance challenge. There's some skill to it. I like when they do challenges as a team. You have to work together because you can kind of see who the weak links are. And actually, I love those. Poor Big Easy. I mean, come on, guy.
I just don't understand. Then we get to the arena after he drops, and how are you going to not throw yourself in?
What do you guys think of that? I mean, he basically his team failed because of him, but then he doesn't volunteer himself. Do you think this is a coward move? Is this a fear?
Yeah,
move?
absolutely. I think it's a fair move. I mean, Brandon hasn't failed.
Right.
So why should Brandon have
Put
to keep
himself
going?
on the line.
Now, because now we're going to go back to, I think it was last week when Big Easy was like, oh, I went in the first time and I did good this round. Okay, well, if that was the case, you did well. This round you didn't do well, so why is
Right.
Brandon going in?
Absolutely.
Now, but my question is, if they don't come up with who's going in, like say they figure, okay, well this boy is going to go in, but we don't know which girl. Does that mean Las Vegas got to choose just the girl, or
No, they got to choose both.
they have to choose both?
Yeah,
So
I think you
that's
either
what it
come
was.
up with it or you don't.
Right.
I think Cara Maria and Camilla aren't getting along. I don't know
Right.
if Big Easy really didn't stand up to the plate. I think he would have went in if he had to, but I think it's more with Camilla.
But okay, so why wouldn't they send in Camilla over Cara Maria?
Because did we see what Camilla was doing? She was bugging out like.
Camilla definitely like if you have her around and she loves the booze. She's Brazilian. She's been known to take down a couple tequila shots, and she kind of gets the pressure gets to her a little bit sometimes, and she has to unload her steam. And her mind unloading steam is just going and snapping at people, like she did it in our house. And I'm good friends with her. There was multiple times she looked at me and been like, "Mark, fuck you," and I'm like, "Oh, you're my friend, but you're wasted right now. I'm gonna go walk away."
Okay,
That's how she operates. You love her though. You love Camilla.
Okay, an incident took place
BFFs.
last year where I kind of reamed somebody out, and I will never again, to that extent, tear somebody apart on the show because, like I'm saying, we don't know these people. We just know their characters. That being said, I could not be more frustrated with Camilla. She won't stop bitching. She doesn't stop yelling. If you're not good at drinking, then stop drinking. I don't care if you're drunk. If you're a bitch when you're drunk. Drinking is not an excuse. How are you going to go at your teammates like that? And then the next day saying you're the only one who's trying to keep it together? You're the only one on the team who's tearing the team apart.
I
Preach.
100%
And then,
preach.
and then she's like, I'm gone. I'm leaving. You know what? If you even say for 1 second you're gone, you're leaving, I get that it's high stress. I get people say things they don't mean. But then you know what? Go in. You and Big Easy should have gone in. Period.
Oh, I would have yelled at the top of that hill when she said, "I'm going home." I'd be like, She's going in.
Yeah.
Everyone rally around that because
Yeah.
that
Automatically.
instantly puts a target away from
I
yourself.
would have said, did everybody hear that? Because she wants to go home. She wants to go in. I want to be here.
And I think it's unfair when Cara Maria said to her, you know, she did it so I would have been rude about it. I would have
Yeah,
been
she
like,
was-
bitch, look, yesterday you said you didn't want to be here. I want to be here. I want that money. I'm never going to be in a situation where I'm going to say, oh, I don't know if I want to do this. No, you said that. You made
Right.
that comment, so here you go. Put yourself in.
You made the
with
bed.
Big Easy. Right, you made the bed, lay in it.
But then when you have made sure you talked to Las Vegas, if you were Cara Maria, wouldn't you have made sure you went to Las Vegas and were like, listen, she said this, I want to stay, or made some sort
That's-
of deal? Why wouldn't she have approached them? I mean, maybe she did and we didn't see it.
I feel like MTV would have showed that.
Right. So I don't know. I just never. I don't
I
think
don't know
she
why
was
she would've
playing
done
it so smart because she could have figured something out. I definitely think she could have.
And I mean, you know, she says she's the one holding this team together. When we see the night before, I mean, we all know Brandon. Brandon seems like a very, you know,
He's
well
level-headed.
put together.
He's a solid gentleman.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And
that
if
was.
you're
it's
going back
not
to
good.
back and forth with him.
You're in the wrong.
Well, let's talk about how strong the team is now that's left of Camilla and Big Easy.
They're
team
taking
of
it
champions.
all
That is
the way.
an
They're screwed, and they
MVP
saw-
team. I will say this: I give it up to Eric. He came back. He looks svelte. He's 70 pounds lighter.
Teaching girls how to.
Do you like svelte? Do you like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
word?
I like
Threw that
it.
in. Has an
Good.
E at the end. Svelte has an E at the end. But he
Really?
looks great. He looks 70 pounds lighter. But he'll always be Big Easy to me.
Right.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
at the same time, you have to give it up to Camilla in that sense. She's a fierce competitor.
Feisty.
That girl is feisty. I would not want to go up against her in any competition. She is tough. So you never know. They could pull out some major wins here, but I doubt it.
Well, so that's my other question for you guys. Obviously, Las Vegas won the challenge, so they were the powerhouse. Why do you think that they wouldn't send Camilla in? That's the stronger one. Isn't that the idea, to send the stronger opponent in to get them kicked out of the house? Because, I mean, Sarah versus Camilla, I think that's a pretty equal battle.
I don't think it's. I mean, I don't know if it's just pure fact that the knowledge of past challenges or whatnot, but I don't think necessarily in their mind they thought Camilla was that much stronger than Cara Maria.
I don't think Camilla
because
in
Cara
that
Maria
sense
proved
is.
herself
Right.
the
That's
other
true.
elimination. So in their mind they might have thought, you know, let's keep the loose cannon this week, who's Camilla, who went crazy and was drinking, then keep, you know, Cara Maria, who wants to be here.
I think that if they had wanted their team gone, if they had wanted part of Fresh Meat gone, then they would have nominated different players. They would have put Big Easy in for sure if they wanted them gone. I think that they were trying to give them a fighting chance, to be honest.
Well, that's true, because they wanted to get rid of Sarah.
Right.
Where's Mackenzie on this challenge? Can we talk about that? Where did
I mean,
she go?
finally we see Trishelle.
Did I
but
see
Mackenzie-
Mackenzie? I think we saw her once, but even like
Or Laura or Trey, we didn't see them a single time this
Yes.
episode.
That's true.
where did they go this episode? Did they go like on a field trip?
But you know, I think that's what MTV has been doing.
Jean A. Did you see her this episode?
Nope, but nor did we see Zach.
Nor Zach.
So,
No.
And Frank we saw for like a quick second.
yeah.
I mean, which is weird because for the most part with the challenges, they kind of include everybody. Maybe they'll leave one person out,
Right.
but they're really sticking
just-
to groups.
There's
for every
so
episode.
many people on this season that it's like, what are you going to do?
Did you see CJ has the eye stuff?
Yeah.
You know what it says? You close up. You see what it said? Mark Long under his eyes.
No, it
Really?
didn't.
Swear to God.
Are you telling the truth?
Hell yeah. Tweet
pretty-
that.
that's pretty
Tweet
cool.
that, America.
This is gonna be the new fashion statement
Mark
of fall.
Long.
I'm going to
under
wear
his
that next
eyes.
time when I come in here.
You better.
You should. That would be actually amazing. Everyone wears their favorite little real world or road rules.
Are you sick?
All right, so you know they go into this, they win the thing. Then everyone's trying to plead to Las Vegas. Trishelle, do we think she's paranoid, or do we kind of understand where she's coming from? Now,
Go first.
here I want you to answer this. Paranoid in the sense of, does she have something against Sarah, or paranoid in the sense,
Okay.
I don't know. I agree with her in some things, but then it kind of just comes off.
I think your team comes first, and I understand why she was trying to get rid of them, get rid of Brooklyn. I get it.
Why?
But because that was what their alliance wanted, and she was trying to stick to their alliance, and it's too early to mess with your alliance, I think. But at the same time, I think she shot herself in the foot. I mean, why did she make herself the standout person who hated Sarah? Why did she make it about Sarah? Why didn't she just say, this was the plan, we're getting rid of them?
I think she's the more vocal out of all of them.
Yeah, but why specifically call out Sarah and now have Sarah come back with a vendetta against you.
That's true.
That was you know what? That was a bad move.
It was a bad move.
And Trishelle hasn't been around in a while, and she should know you never make you never make an individual enemy that early in the game, because it comes back to you all the time. I'm sure in the later episodes are going to be a Sarah Trishelle moment again, but it's like, I don't know if Trishelle doesn't like Sarah. I know she said she heard, I heard Sarah was like a manipulator before I came in here. Maybe that's planting a seed in her head. But Trishelle seemed paranoid at the end, almost like freaked out. It kind of weirded me out, because Trishelle's usually like a strong person, doesn't give a shit. So it kind of weirded me out.
Different motives or something.
Yeah, like something was weird. And I know she doesn't have a crush on Alton. So there's that motive out the bag. You know what I'm saying?
So what? I don't know really what it could be then.
And it was interesting that, she pulled Devin aside to have a talk with her.
Yeah.
So my question, you say it was a bad move for her to specifically pick one person.
Right.
Was that a bad move, or is it almost a smarter move? Because if you want to get rid of a whole team, and you don't want to say, hey, I just want to get rid of Brooklyn, I want to get rid of you guys because of this girl, that could almost lead for the future. If Sarah and one of the other teammates get off, she could actually use Devin and who's the other Brooklyn?
But Sarah was the person that they had the tie to with the team, so why would you piss off your strongest ally on that team? Because
there was an Alton connection for sure.
If the situation had been reversed, no way was Sarah's team putting them in.
Wait, but the reason is because it makes them look weaker to the alliance.
Yes.
That they could flip either way.
Yeah, and that was
Yeah.
the problem is I think with this challenge, not the problem, but just it's very blatant. The lines in the sand are drawn so early that you can kind of see who's on each other's team, so you can almost predict what's going to happen and who's going to get voted in. Because
who would you have voted in if you were in Trishelle's position and you know what the
you have
politics
to
are?
you have to stick to the numbers game. You have to. I mean, it just secures your existence in the game, because I never play for the next day. I play for the final. So you can never just play for the next day. Oh, if I throw them in, I'm going to be safe. You can't do that. You got to play for how is this going to help me out down the line and in a final situation. So you can't make moves thinking that you're not going to get repercussions, and if you go against the alliance, they know it, and you'll be the first one on the chopping block.
Also, this is a game of where you're on teams, but you're playing with two people. I mean, really, you're playing with your team of four, but you're playing as twos.
Right.
So you don't want to put a target on your back, and right now, Sarah put a huge, not Sarah, Trishelle put a huge target on her back, as opposed to Dustin or Nani or whatever. They're just chilling. And right now, if Brooklyn has to send somebody in from Las Vegas, Trishelle's going in hands down, no matter what.
And you remember last week when they did the wrestling, the oil thing, and they started just like DQing each other to form their lines? Could you imagine if someone was like, no, I'm not going to DQ. I don't like that person. I want to wrestle that person. Like, it's just, you never do that. It's like a blatant thing that
That's
you
like
never do.
saying, I don't want to win this money.
Right.
I would rather just be difficult.
No, it was interesting that then Sarah stands up. Here's where I did see manipulation. Sarah stands up and says to Alton and Dustin, you guys are letting the girls run you. And to me, that's another teammate, or it could be, we could just say the man and women, how a woman's coming in now and saying, you're letting this girl run all over you guys and, delegate how things are going to be done.
It's a slick move.
It's like, bitch, you're not on my team. Why are you telling me what I'm doing? So in that sense, I kind of saw manipulation with Sarah, but I know she was also, upset and aggravated. And I want to go. Hold on. I want to go to Steamer. Steamer, what did you think of this situation?
I thought that Alton was in the wrong. I mean, you just got to stick with your alliance. I mean, it sucks for him since Sarah wouldn't throw him or his team in, but once you're there with the numbers, as long as you can.
All right.
See, Steamer, you're a smart man. Okay. You know how these things work.
I would love to see Steamer on the challenge. I think you would kick
I would die.
ass.
I would die at that.
I'm not so sure about that.
Steamer, how comfortable are you in a Speedo? Because it's a Speedo challenge these days. You comfortable in a Speedo?
He's not even comfortable answering the question if he's comfortable in a steamer.
No.
In a steamer.
Not at all.
Good.
Do we think Alton is really sprung off this girl, or do we think that part of him was almost like, wait a minute, I'm a man, and if you're going to sit here and say that there's something weird going on between us, I'm not letting her run me, but I'm not going to let you run me either. Or do we think he was kind of, holding himself down as a man, or is he really sprung off this girl?
I think he's definitely sprung off her. Look at him. I mean, he's got little butterflies in his eyes and everything. I think a big part that we're skipping right over, though, is just a small moment, but I wrote it down because I wanted to remember. Chet calls Trishelle delusional.
Yeah.
And a conspiracy.
A conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, like that. If somebody said that to me, regardless of what ridiculousness I had spewed, I would be like, I'm what now? Delusional? Like that is quite the
Paranoia.
insult.
It was paranoia. It was delusion. All those words.
But she was just pretty calm about it. She was like, really?
Because I think they suck face in private.
Really?
Yeah. I think Trishelle and Chet suck face.
I thought Chet swung a whole different way.
No.
Never mind then.
Chet does not swing. He's saving himself. He's Mormon.
He just likes to wear bow ties.
He does not drink caffeine or have sex. Because he's
Alright.
Mormon. And Mitt Romney.
heard it here first.
Mitt Romney debate tonight.
But what about that time that I had sex with Chet?
Chet does get boners. He will get a boner, but he just does not follow through with it.
Well, I didn't think all virgins just couldn't get it up.
No, but I'm telling you, Chet and Trishelle have makeout sessions every now and then.
Really?
I could not picture that.
You heard it here first, people.
All right, that's an AfterBuzz
Boom.
exclusive. All right, so do we think she's a conspiracy theorist, or
She's paranoid for some reason. I've never seen her act like this. It's almost like
but if
she's
you've never
scared.
seen her, if you've never seen her act like that, and she's acting like that, do we think that she might have really got some information? With someone saying,
Yeah.
you know what, Sarah really is like this.
She
And
she personally has told me she's heard everything that Sarah is a manipulator and sneaky, and she heard that going into the challenge. So she was already flooded with those emotions of going into the challenge, and then when this situation happened and she was hitting and sleeping with Alton or snuggling with him, it probably just drove her nuts and was like, this girl's trying to infiltrate my team and be manipulative. I can't let this happen. We're going to cut this right at the bud.
And is that paranoid, or is that I'm going to be strong with my team?
I think the decision she made was smart, but the way she went about it was stupid.
Yeah, a little paranoid.
All right, so
Definitely paranoid.
we go into the final challenge. It's Brooklyn versus Fresh Meat.
Not so fast.
Whoop, what do we want to bring up?
No. That's the
what
name
it's
of the
called.
challenge.
Not so fast. With a K and
You
O.
got me
Not
with
so
the nuts.
fast.
Cannot sell fast. Brooklyn versus Fresh Meat. Chet and
Maria.
Sarah put themselves in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, against.
Why do you
Brandon
think he
and
put
Carmen.
himself in? Kind of like he figured, oh, I shouldn't have called Trishelle that.
yeah.
Otherwise, she's gonna put me in.
No, I just think that they had that conversation, and Chet was like, screw you. I'm going to put myself in. I'm going to tell Sarah she should put herself in, too. We're going to do this, and we're going to win.
And I will say this: what was the challenge? It was called. Was it not intellectual, but it was called. What was it? Puzzle.
Strategy.
Strategy. Right.
Strategy?
Yeah. So, Steamer, thank you. So, with that challenge of strategy, I know that Sarah is an animal with this kind of thing. So, like going into it, Chet might have thought, "Hey, we're going to do really good at this. Why don't I get one out of the way?
Right.
So that next time I don't have to do endurance or something like that."
He felt very comfortable.
Yeah.
We could tell the whole time. He was like, Sarah's my teammate. I feel very confident
Yeah.
and comfortable.
I agree. So that's probably my opinion of why they went in.
And then of course Brandon and Carmen went in, and
God.
we were so sad for that because we don't want to see them go.
No.
So they do this thing. They have to like tie the
Knots.
Knots around the poles, around the-
100-foot rope.
Snake.
Okay. Here's my thing. I don't even know if this can be
into words.
conceptualized. Like, okay, if I were them, I would have been making knots, like literal tied knots. They just seem to be wrapping it around.
I don't think
things.
you can make a knot. I think
No,
you
not
had
with
to-
my hands, but if somebody goes around and
then
through,
through.
and then around and through,
See,
and
'cause
around
you're
and
smart.
through, and then you're not so tired because you're not climbing up the top and climbing up the top. But if you pull those tight after you already go around and
Yep.
through, for somebody else to undo that by going through, it's like impossible.
They had to do this in 10 minutes, and I told Mark during watching, I was like, you know, you ever like roll up the watering hose? Like sometimes that can really like
Yeah.
Your
give you
arms
some
are like
difficulty. I can
Yeah.
imagine this gym rope, like 100 feet of that.
I think you need to find a way to not make yourself so tired, and it's more about strategy.
And well,
But they took it as an endurance, but it's called strategy for a reason.
Right.
You know?
If you would have been there this week, you would have won that.
they needed you, Rob.
Hands down.
They needed you.
I don't know.
Do you
Sarah
think?
said it well.
Now, question: do you think if Camilla and Big Easy went in there, it might have actually worked out better for them? Big Easy's taller and bigger. He could have put the rope over. Camilla could have used her brain power, maybe.
He could have never climbed up that though.
I think he would have been winded very fast. He's
tired.
proven that. He's got a reputation for getting winded fast these days. Yeah, he could have maybe done a few moves, but I think he would have ran out of gas, unfortunately.
Also, you have to stick with your partner. The two of you are like basically connected. So if he got to just stand there and she got to do the runarounds and he could just lift her, that's fine. But you have to follow your partner everywhere they're going, up and through and whatever.
Camilla would have been yelling at him.
It would have been a bloodbath.
They would have started fighting in the middle of the thing.
Yeah, 100%. I'm sure the moment they saw it, the two of them were like, "This is a sick joke. Thank God we're not in there."
Right.
No, seriously.
Well, speaking of things that are not sick jokes, actually, really excited because the fall season's coming up.
Your segues are just the best, Jess.
Thanks, Rox.
What are you excited for? Jess?
Well, actually, we have so many new shows here at AfterBuzz. Super excited. We've already been talking to them about Fox's New Tuesdays, tons of comedy shows. But some of my favorite shows are coming back, and AfterBuzz is covering them, like Walking Dead.
Homeland. So good.
My personal favorite, which you guys can catch a pre-show tomorrow, is Vampire Diaries.
You love it.
What other
Loved
shows
it.
do you host? You do Vampire Diaries and this.
Challenge. I can't even think of what.
Gossip
else we do.
Girl,
But I
Jersey
mean,
Shore,
hello, Jersey
Glee,
Shore.
yeah.
Are you guys excited for Jersey Shore?
Yeah,
Not
I'm
excited for
stoked.
Jersey Shore.
Right? You
A
look
little
like you
sad.
could, she looks like she could be on
I do
Jersey
the-
Shore.
Okay. Oh my God.
You're tan. I'm just saying because you're tan.
Okay, who was in here? It was Swift. Was like, people must
look
tell you
like
all the
Sammy.
time that you and Sammy are twins.
Who's Swift?
From the Real World, St. Thomas.
They call him Swift?
Yeah.
Oh, what's his real
Someone
name?
didn't watch St. Thomas.
What's his real name? Oh, Brandon. Okay. I didn't know this.
Okay, but actually, this is a good question because we're about to go. I want to get into the Mark Long segment of this, but segue from Jersey Shore to the challenge. What's happening to reality television right now? I mean, Jersey Shore is huge. It's a giant wave of reality TV. I mean, now the Kardashians with MTV. Now Jersey Shore is over. What's next for reality TV? I mean, we have the Real World.
Do you think in terms of MTV or in terms of
No,
internet,
let's just
like
stick with
globally?
MTV
Okay.
because this is your family. Because this is my other question.
this
You
is
were
your
on
family.
You were on Road Rules.
I started this.
You started the
goddamn
Road
thing,
Rules. Literally started Road Rules.
Yeah.
Now Road Rules is done.
Right.
I used to love Road Rules versus Real World challenges.
Yeah.
Then it kind of just. Do you think that Road Rules went away because the challenges were sweeping it up?
I know
or-
exactly why it went away because I've been asked this question. I've asked the producers. The reason why it went away is the challenge fan base is the exact fan base as we had in Road Rules. So they don't need to spend the money of sending people all over the place and the budgets are crazy because you do some crazy stuff and traveling with the whole production crew is expensive. They can capture that same fan base doing these challenges twice a year now. So they don't even need Road Rules. If they anything,
We save so much money.
Yeah, and if anything, if they need new characters, they either pull them off Real World or they have fresh meat, which I don't think they're gonna have fresh meat again because
have
these
so many.
challenges now are only picked up a season at a time. We used to get picked up 3-4 seasons at a time, like in bunches. Now it's only picked up, for instance, it's not been picked up again. They have to watch these ratings, see how they do, and then they'll green light one more season, but it's only one at a time now.
Why do you think that is?
Because I just think that, and the reason why they've come back, Battle of the Exes was perfect. Because when you tuned in, if you didn't watch the challenge, but if you tuned in and just saw Battle of the Exes and then realized, oh, these two people are ex-boyfriend and girlfriend,
It was
you
interesting.
instantly can identify with the characters. Well, this, for instance, Battle of the Seasons, you know they were on the same season. So they got kind of away from. They're not going to do, I don't think, like a Gauntlet 5, because if you tune in and just see Gauntlet 5, you're
Random
like, well,
people.
who the hell is
We
this?
want to see relationships.
Yeah, you want to
Whether
see
it's roommates or
teams, roommates, relationships.
Danny and Melinda, whatever they were.
You know what? I'll tell you this right now. The perfect segue into a next challenge, if it gets picked up, because they've touched on it a little bit, is a nice veterans versus rookies.
Ooh, I agree
because
with
the rookies now on the show they just think they're running things, which they are, because there's really not many veterans in there. But I think a perfect segue to this challenge would be a good old-fashioned veterans versus rookies. Me, CT, Johnny Bananas, Kenny Santucci going up against Zach, Frank, all those new school kids.
And that's a great segue into my question that I was asking everybody at the Vegas Bash, and I didn't get to ask you. Talking to actually a lot of veterans, the one thing that they kept saying was, they were tired of watching these challenges because it's like, we've been doing it for so long. Now everyone has a character that they play. So they said the thing about this challenge that's really interesting is that everyone's new. They're rookies and they don't know how to play it. And we only know their characters from the real world. So not only because, a lot of the veterans have had their real world characters, but then they've evolved through the challenges.
Right.
So my question for you is, Is this one of the better challenges for you to actually watch? I mean, I know you've been in how many? Now that you're retired and you can sit back and just enjoy.
I'm semi-retired.
Oh,
I retire like Brett Favre retired. Do you know what I'm saying?
So-
I still can get out there
so
and
we
throw the
never
freaking
know.
tater. You know what I'm saying?
We
I'll
never
do it.
know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'll surprise you guys.
So what do you think of watching this season, watching the rookies, how they're playing it?
I like watching it because I enjoy and appreciate the new characters. I'm sure there's the fans out there that hate it because they're just in love with so many characters. It's like watching Lost or like Beverly Hills 902 for so long, and then they just replace the whole, like, who's the new Brandon?
Right.
Or you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that. But if you watch it from afar and look in, you appreciate it because I like watching the Zachs and the Franks and CJs.
But does it bring you back to the first challenge you did?
Kind of, because it's all new faces and it's like it's fresh. I mean, I hope it pulls enough numbers to get another season out, which I hope it does.
You think it might not?
I don't know, because I mean, trust me, I know there's a lot of veteran people out there that like just bash the challenge, like cast members. They like refuse to watch it, and then like I'll get tweets all the time like, I'm not watching it because you're not on, and if, who are these people? But if anything, you got to give them a shot because there's still drama,
and you need
there's
more
hookups,
people, and
there's fresh faces. I'm sure people appreciate seeing Trishelle. She hasn't been around in a while.
There's intense
Elton too.
competitions.
Yeah, and the book, you can't argue the fact that the competitions are great, the drama's going to be great. They're playing for a lot of money, and people enjoy watching.
Do you feel like Wes was thrown in there like a piece of meat to the lions?
Wes is always thrown in. The problem is Wes went home first on Battle of the Exes too, because he just comes in and he's so full of shit right off the bat. But I like Wes. Like, I like Wes off the shows. It's just he comes in. It's almost like you watch The Apprentice. Do you remember Omarosa?
Oh my God.
She just thought
You hate to love her.
She had to be the villain. Like, she would not be the villain.
No, you love to hate her.
Yeah, so she had to be the villain. You love to hate her. So Wes comes in, and I feel like he has to be the villain. So he's got to.
Why does he feel like he has to be the villain? Why couldn't he just be a cool guy?
Because they won't ask him back if he's a cool guy. If he's a cool guy and goes totally against character, they don't care. But they want Wes to come in there.
So how did
be
he
an
get
asshole.
caught into that character?
Because he created it. I mean, when you say I'm the best guy on the challenge and you've won one 8 years ago, and since then you've been voted off probably first every time, you're not the best, bro.
But do they say to you guys like, yeah, keep doing that thing, like keep being that?
Nope.
People tell us
don't
all the
feed
time
you
that you're not scripted, but you script yourself.
Yeah.
You say what it is that you want to say. So of course, if he thinks that that's what they like, that's what he's going to give them.
Exactly.
I guess.
And I'm sure the producers or directors say, hey, Wes, you seem like you're a really great you're a really great competitor this year. What do you think of the others? Of course he's going to say, yeah, absolutely, I'm the best. They're not going to say, you suck. But I like Wes outside of the challenge, but just in the challenge, he is a complete moron because he makes these awful moves early and people vote him in. I wish, he'd come to. The reason why he got voted in first on our thing, he never even came up to me or any of my little lines and said, hey, let's work together. He just
Why
never
not?
did.
And if he had,
He still would have went in, but at least he would have tried. You know what I mean? Show me some effort, bro.
Is he just someone that he goes in the challenges and kind of knows that he could backstab at any time?
Yeah,
or?
people know that he'll lie, cheat, steal to get ahead, and you don't want to be aligned with that. No, you want to send that
I think
person
it
home.
really actually would have been interesting to see you on this season because I think you would go in there with the thought I'm a veteran here, but they wouldn't have all attacked you in the same way they attacked Wes. So it would have been interesting to get
absolutely
somebody.
not. I would be right in the middle of that alliance right now. Trust me, because
you can't alienate them because there's too many rookies. So what are you
Right.
going to do? Pull the veteran card? No, there's not enough of you
Right.
guys there. So you would have been right in smack dab in the middle.
I would have weaseled in there right away.
Unlike Wes, who was like, but I'm the veteran here. So
Yeah.
you're alienating
The problem
yourself.
is too with Wes is he'll like tell these rookies, you know what? I'm gonna save you this week. I can promise you like week 3. He's like says this, and you're like, who the fuck are you?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like get out of here with that.
No,
He's like, he's funny. Like I like watching Wes because he's a perfect villain. I liked it. I love to hate Wes. I mean, I like Wes outside the show, but like on the show, he's a perfect villain, and people like that. I actually wish Wes would have stayed around longer on this
I
show
would've too.
I
to
kinda
stir
wish
up
he
the
did
soup
too,
a little
right.
bit.
It's
You know?
true.
But outside of this, I mean, you've been doing this for a while. Who are you friends with? I mean, are you honestly friends? And I know we go to these events and you see people and you're cool with them. You guys are part of this dysfunctional
People
family.
such as Siri.
But who are you really connected with from the show? I know you were saying something about Eric Nies.
I see Eric on occasion when he's in town. Great guy.
And what has he been doing?
Oh my God, he. You know what Eric does?
And how come he doesn't do these anymore?
Because he just is totally against it. He will do Amazing Race with me. He told me he would be my partner if we ever do that.
Really
It'd be cool, right? First real road, first road rules. I think that'd be a cool angle.
That's cool.
He's a healer. He detoxes people now. So if you had like an alcohol problem, he would actually move in with you and put you through all these, vitamins and nutrients and like detox you off of alcohol. So like that's what he does now lately is
Very
moves in and
focused.
tries to, he's a Zen guy, urination in the hair. He'd have you doing that. But
Has he moved into your house?
no, but you know what he said to me? He goes, "Hey, Mark, you should come up to the mountains with me. I'm going to do a week gallbladder cleanse. All we're going to eat is apples." And I'm like, "I'm going to stay in Hollywood, bro, and I'm going to eat great food, and you can have your apples." But that's this kind of shit he pulls with me. You want to do a gallbladder cleanse this weekend? All apples? I'm like, not a fucking chance.
Why does he? He's just one of those people.
He's out there.
That's awesome.
He is out there. So I'm close with him. I still talk with Kenny, Evan, and Johnny all the time. I'm seeing Johnny tomorrow. We're going to this Burton snowboard thing on Melrose, the store opening. I'm trying to think who else from like CT I see every once in a while. I hear from Dunbar every once in a while.
So what are you up to now? I mean,
No girls.
Well, I mean, it's like a bromance on the show.
I see Diem's one of my close friends. I saw Sarah recently. I saw Trishelle recently. I saw I just met some of those St. Thomas cats recently.
who are big fans of you.
Yeah, which I gotta remember their names.
So what has this done for you? Where are you now?
It
What are you working on?
definitely. Right now, I do 1 hour specials for TV Guide Network. They're all like countdown shows. So we count down like America's favorite. I'm told you tomorrow we're doing America's celebrity family breakdowns, but like hottest summer bodies, scariest movie scenes, like all those stuff. So I work with them a lot. And then I'm actually October 15th releasing my first ever universal supplement that I've designed and developed with doctors for 3 years. So it's coming out October 15th.
What's it a supplement for?
It's a universal supplement. I can't say because I don't want to say it until the launch.
Okay, well, where can we follow you in order to keep?
Follow me on Twitter at the Mark Long on Twitter. I'll be tweeting it and Facebooking it, and you know what? I
think you should come here.
I was gonna say.
We'll do it.
I'll bring the product
And bring it.
and we can all do it.
And I'll tell you if it sucks or not.
Yeah, exactly. But
We're very honest here.
Yeah.
Trust me, I've been doing it. I've been doing a version of it for years. I always knew I wanted to combine it and do it into my own thing. And I mean, shit. I'm 41. It's worked out for me. So.
But instead of doing predictions tonight, because our show got clicked off, we're gonna go into our steamer situation. So, ladies and gentlemen, stump the steamer.
Every time.
Now this week, Mark is going to be asking the steamer a question. Steamer, you ready?
Yeah, let's try it.
All right, Mark.
Steamer. First of all, how old are you, Steamer?
34.
All right, so I think you're gonna get this one, but it's gonna since we're keeping with the Battle of the Seasons theme, I'm gonna go back to when I hosted it. Mm-hmm. You familiar with that?
Yeah.
Okay, then you're gonna get this. You're gonna get this. On the first season of Battle of the Seasons, the challenge hosted by Eric Nies and myself. Mm-hmm. One of the challenges is we had a block of ice. I believe it was shaped like a car in the middle of the beach there.
Oh, I do.
And one of the cast members, instead of actually getting disqualified and getting eliminated, he actually peed his pants on the beach to stay in the game.
Oh my God!
What was the name? What was the name of that cast member that wet his pants on TV
Roxy.
and stayed in the game? Pretty damn good question.
That is a good one, and I do remember that. It's actually really fun.
I'm trying to think of who was on that season.
All
Wait,
right.
I don't understand that. Why did they pee themselves to stay in?
Because you had to have your hand
on the
against
car
the
while
ice
it was melting.
While it was melting. If you took it off, you were disqualified. He held it on and just peed his pants.
Oh, because he had to pee so bad.
Yeah.
God, that is just woo.
Do you know who it is or no?
I don't, but I remember that.
You remember
whole-
it?
That whole little
Steamer, any
situation.
guesses?
That's a good.
Has anyone ever stumped the steamer?
We've had 3. We had Leroy from Las
Okay,
Vegas,
okay.
stumped him.
Was it Theo?
It was not Theo, but you were close.
Who was it?
It was Tim Beggy.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we stumped the steamer tonight.
Yes.
Congratulations, Mark. So they're telling us to wrap it up, but Steamer, do you have any questions for Mark, or or anything about what you saw tonight on the show?
Yeah, I got a question for him.
What's up, Steam?
One of my things, like, I like the competition on the show, so
Right.
I want to see another duel. And I've heard you on, like, Derek's podcast talking about, like, the Hall of Fame and all that nonsense that goes into that. Who would you say are the top 3 competitors for males in the history of the show?
Top 3 male
top 3
competitors.
male.
You would want to see.
I'll tell you right now.
Duel.
I'll treat him as who I would want on my team. Okay, for top
right.
3 Hall of Fame. I definitely would want CT because he's an absolute lunatic. I would take Johnny because Johnny's well-rounded on the athletic side. And you know what? Just for fun, I would throw in a little Kenny Santucci because he makes me laugh, and he's still good at the physical competitions as well. So those 3 are my top dogs. And if I could have an honorary, I would throw in a Derek Kaczynski, little Derek.
Oh, little.
We're getting really kicked off right now.
I mean,
we're
they're-
getting tossed.
Is this when they're going like this?
They're
Does this
shading
mean
us,
keep
right?
going?
No.
All right, you guys, make sure you follow us on AfterBuzz TV at Twitter, Facebook. Make sure you subscribe to us on iTunes, and keep tuned because we have all the new shows coming for fall. You can follow me at DJ Jesse J. You can follow the Steamer at
the Steamer.
At Roxy Striar.
At the Mark Long.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's all, folks. Peace.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.